Okay, and you're joining and you're muted and excellent. I see some people joining that I know. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I can't wait to hear all these.
Well, I just watched a couple and it's going to be good, everybody. It's going to be good.
Awesome.
I love it. I love seeing all of these names. Oh, I see Kevin, Dre. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Anna. I'm waving to everybody. I'm so excited. I'll give you a quick look around the room here. We've got some people who are here to watch and all our founders ready to go. Hi, Danielle. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Thank you for joining us.
Too long, yes.
I know. I know. You need to just show up here at Luminary.
It's on my list.
Yes. Okay. It's 4:01 and I know people are still joining. I'm going to go ahead and get started because we literally have the tightest timeline. And I'm going to be speaking to the screen as well as the people in the room. I'm Melissa Wallace, the CEO and founding partner of Fierce Foundry. Fierce Foundry is a venture studio that is specifically designed for women-led organizations, startups, early stage startups. We co-found companies from idea to exit. But we also have this wonderful nonprofit arm called Fierce Founders. And through the nonprofit arm, we provide programs like Investment Readiness Bootcamp. And today we have 5 founders who have spent the last 5 weeks working with our experts, and some of them I think are joining us today, learning everything from A to Z when it comes to being ready to pitch an investor. So it's not just about how good they sound today, but it's thinking about their forecasts and their financials. And it's understanding the legal implications behind what they need to have ready in time. Should an investor say, here you go, here's that $1 million check that you're looking for. And we are joined today, everybody who's joining on the Zoom, by a variety of founders, but also angel investors and venture investors that are interested in potentially getting to know these founders. And to you, I say, I will follow up this call with all of the founders' information so you can follow up directly, but you're also very welcome to reach out to me with any additional questions that you might have. And we will go from there. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Adrian. It's so good to see everybody. Okay, I'm going to kick it off. In 2 minutes, we're going to have our first founder begin. We have 5 founders. Each of them have a total of 10 minutes. We've asked them to keep their pitches as close to 5 minutes as possible, and they'll get a warning. If you have questions, add them in the chat, and we will ask them the questions, and we'll go from there. So again, 10 minutes. So they're going to get a warning at 4 minutes and they're going to get a warning at 9 minutes. And then we're going to swap out very quickly my seat with the next founder. All right, I'm going to get the screen share on and we're going to start right on time. Okay. You ready? Okay. All right.
Hi, everybody. Everybody can see the screen? Good. I see some faces. All right. I guess I'm getting the go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, free to go. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Buikoff, founder and CEO of Boxy. I've been on every side of the venture table. I've been an operator, an angel investor, a coach, an advisor, and now the last hat, a founder. I've invested in dozens and coached dozens of companies, including as part of the Morgan Stanley Inclusive Ventures Lab as an ER entrepreneur in residence. And I kept seeing the same thing over and over again, coaching those founders, right? Great founders, sometimes great ideas, but drowning into operational chaos, not always knowing where to start, and asking me the same questions over and over again. So when ChatGPT came out at the end of 22, I thought, hey, the tools are finally here to create leverage for founders. And so this is why I realized it was time to get into the game, putting the founder's hat and really building this operational platform and create leverage. And that's what we're doing. So Boxy is the first AI-powered chief operating officer for startup founders. And we are doing that with the mission that if we help more startups succeed, then more investors win bigger too. And that's how we change the odds in ventures. So I think the problem, oh, yeah, it's moving. The problem, I think you all know it, whether you're a founder or even an investor, right? 90% of all global startups fail. That's just the stat, unfortunately. And that means that $327 billion of wasted capital every year. For every dollar, penny, bootstrap or not, those founders unfortunately fail. And sometimes, most of the time, it's not bad ideas, right? Some of it is product market fit, absolutely. But a lot of time is just running out of cash. 44% is because they miss a fundraising milestones, run out of cash, or just are drowned into not aligning their operations. And that's really the problem that Boxy solves. So when we spoke with dozens of founders, right, operations means a lot of things to different people. There's also, it's a very vast area, right, of the business. So where do we start? And what we heard from our founders was really three major pain points. Fundraising, we all know that takes a lot of time from us. We get told, hey, focus on fundraising, forget about the business for a few weeks until you raise. Two was revenue operation, everything from understanding marketing to customer success. And then three, hiring, finding talent and onboarding them. And this is the biggest drain on their time. And that's where our roadmap really starts with fundraising operations, moving into revenue operations, and then the full suite COO. The goal is to give Boxy to every founder out there when they start their company before they actually need to hire an operational hire, a chief of staff, sometimes we call it, or even a COO. So meet Boxy, we're starting where it matters the most, raising capital. We're building AI into all of this, right? And that's where we're really different. So we have an investor pipeline CRM where we really help founders like generate their list, keep track of their list, follow-ups, all the things that we need to do. We also have built a pre-built data room where we help them in terms of keeping documents updated, even generate templates for that. So really streamline that. And then
I'm always on the go, so if it's not on my phone, I'm.
Oh, everything okay? Yeah. All right. And then automating all these investor updates. As founders, we're really bad. Sometimes we're delayed. We don't always know, it takes time. But the cool thing too is that we built a control center with all their metrics. So metrics that investors would want to see, they can pull that directly into Boxy and include that in their investor updates. So that's pretty important. Why am I doing that now? Why should we do that now? I think we all know capital is cautious. The windows for IPOs have slowed down. The investors, have been investing less globally, not always in the US. I know we've seen that. And then the tech is ready, right? It's been, AI can now support 60 to 70%. So I'm super late in my pitch, so I'm gonna, keep going. Competition. We're focusing obviously on fundraising. So some of you might know those tools: Visible, Paperstreak, Dotson, all point solutions, siloed, doesn't bring all of it together. And that's where we're really different. We're building that intelligence layers to really help founders, starting with fundraising. Big market, we estimate a $30 billion market globally. Obviously, we're focusing on North America, early stage startup first, but the opportunity is that every founder can become a Boxy customers. Business model, two-sided platform. We actually did a really cool thing is that we can bring investors and accelerators like Fierce Foundry into the platform and create that collaboration, SaaS on both sides, and of course, exploring marketplace and data insights moving forward. How do we get there? Yes, we're going obviously direct to all our founders using networks, but we're also, like I said, looking at accelerators, investors to actually capture the founders in bulk and create that viral loop through that. Team, me built the PwC Salesforce practice from 0 to 200 globally. I'm also, like I said, have the hat on every side of the ventures table, and so have scaled and build companies in the past. Tanishq Barak is a 4-time founder, ex-Google, and really our founding engineer, just helping me bring the vision to life. Traction. We have 8,300K of AR already, 2 VC pilots in progress, and we have over 150 startups waiting to be onboarded, and we're onboarding them as we speak, and 100K in pipeline. Roadmap, like I said, moving from fundraising all the way to full agentic CEO in the next year. Our financial projections, we're obviously doing Boxy on Boxy, capital efficient, and we're hoping to break even in 2027, by the end of 2027, with minimal capital raise. We're looking to raise $1 million on a safe, ideally accelerate product development, growth, and minimal G&A. So if you're like me, really passionate about making more startups successful and therefore increase your investments, please reach out. Big vision, but would love to find build partners from some of you. Thank you.
We have about almost 4 minutes for questions. So does anybody have any questions? You can come off mute and ask a question if you like, or share it in the chat. Looks like there might be no questions.
What's the best kind of feedback, Melissa? What do you want?
Feedback is great.
Okay.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Interesting idea. Setup was too long. You got to get to like the meat of things faster. And yeah, it sounds great, but I didn't buy it. Like I need a little more teeth on why this. Like everything you said sounds incredible because we all want that to go better, but I was like, I needed a little bit more on the how and the why.
Okay.
And you were right. Paper Street, they're everywhere, all over Techstars. You know, they do have some issues, but they've got a lot of market. Like they've been working at this a long time. Like why, you know, it's easy to dismiss them on your competitor slide, but they are out there and they are working. Again, I don't think they work great, but I wanted a little bit more specifically on why Boxy's going to do it.
Okay. So the how, right, Kevin? Yeah. Gotcha. Thanks.
Kevin coming in real hard there.
Anna's saying I'm not super clear on what it does.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Do you want to answer that question as succinctly as possible? And we've got just over a minute left.
Yeah, sure. So we are basically doing a couple of things. One, we're actually bringing, we built a control center with all the metrics for founders. We wanted to build a context around how they're doing. So we're integrating to HubSpot, QuickBooks, Plaid, and some other sources to bring all the metrics first. And then now that we have that, we're integrating that into an investor relations module that include fundraising pipeline management, as well as communication, data room, investor updates, application tracking, all that built for founders with a bunch of AI on top of it to actually manage that for them. So really creating leverage and productivity. That's really what we're doing, and that's what we're starting. I like the tagline, the AI CEO for founders, but wasn't sure the pitch translated what it actually does. So the how again, I guess, Nicole, I think, what does it do and why do we need it? Thought the deck is too busy and too many slides. Do you want me to repeat it or?
Nope, I think you're good. Let's give a round of applause.
Wait, can
Thank
I just
you.
say something? One thing. I thought your presence was really, really fantastic and that your background is really impressive. So I would highlight the background
More.
because it makes me feel like you're very credible as a founder.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Sonia.
Love the feedback. Would love it to be more in that regard, where it's what can we do differently or better. Again, this is an opportunity for both feedback and an opportunity to meet potential investors. So just keep that in mind when you're providing the feedback as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our next. Ready? Oh, it's right here. There you go.
No,
Oh, that is not right. Hang on. Where did it go? Okay.
maybe press Command Z.
No, I gotta, hang on. Don't worry, we're gonna make sure you have full training. Slack. And you slacked it to me, right?
I did.
I got knocked offline. Okay, you guys can all hear and see me, right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's do this so that you can see her. Why is it putting me back into Zoom?
Oh, because you sent me the new Zoom link. It was the link before.
That's right.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah, that one.
Just, yeah, we had everything perfectly set up earlier, just so everybody knows. It was all very, very perfect. Okay. Loading. And you are good to go.
Great. Thank you. Just gonna open up my speakers notes a little bigger. Hi, everyone. My name is Johnette, and I'm the founder of Beauty Log Plus. So women love beauty, but as consumers, they're overwhelmed by the volume of products, confused on which product is right for them, and worried about having skin reactions. They want a convenient, trusted voice, a friend, a bestie. For businesses, the multi-billion-dollar beauty market is surging, yet brands and retailers face problems with decaying loyalty and costly customer churn. We are on a mission to solve those urgent yet overlooked challenges for both consumers and businesses. Introducing Beauty Bestie, a beauty marketplace built for intelligent product management and designed to deliver more value to businesses than the standard e-commerce platforms. This is Olivia. She owns around 40 beauty products, but only 10% of her products are fully used before their shelf life ends. She spends 30 minutes a day researching beauty. She says that personalized recommendations, transparent ingredient information, and ingredient safety are her top priorities. However, once Olivia's products are unboxed, usage instructions, ingredients, and other essential information are gone, discarded with the packaging. She loses track of how many products she has, what works for her, what's safe for her, and when to replace old products. The result? Stress, time loss, and even worse, skin reactions. Olivia wants a convenient, trusted voice, a friend, a bestie. Beauty Bestie is that bestie for Olivia. Olivia downloads the app and creates her personal profile. She quickly scans her products, building her personal beauty database. The products are automatically organized into proper categories, putting all of the information from the box right at her fingertips. Olivia receives hyper-personalized recommendations and actionable guidance, helping her choose the right products and apply them correctly. Expiration alerts notify Olivia before her products become unsafe or ineffective, reducing accidental use of expired items that could cause skin irritation or worse. Shifting gears a little, the overall digital beauty ecosystem is valued at almost 100 billion USD. For Beauty Bestie, we've narrowed the TAM to beauty-specific digital tracking platforms. This market is projected at 8 billion USD. This is why we're interested in Olivia. She's part of our SAM, Millennials and Gen Z in North America and Western Europe, who together account for approximately 60% of the global digital beauty market, valued at 4.8 billion. Beauty Bestie, an early stage tracking database and marketplace, can expect to capture about 2% of the regional market, yielding approximately 96 million in annual revenue by year 5. So why should investors care? So as I mentioned earlier, these problems are huge, urgent, and underserved. We talked about the problems for Olivia, but also brands are losing time and money. The multi-billion-dollar beauty market is surging. 2025 has been a high output year with almost 30,000 new beauty products launched in the US so far. Brands are racing to release new SKUs due to Gen Z and millennials' insistence on novelty and social media trends. With this demand and competition, it's harder than ever to retain customers. Loyalty is plummeting. Data shows a 20% cliff dive in brand loyalty over the last 2 years. 51% of shoppers are likely to switch to a competitor when their preferred brand isn't instantly available to them. Managing retention, driving repeat purchases, and collecting data has become a nightmare for beauty brands. This results in costly churn and lost customer lifetime value in a sector where every retention point is worth millions. We're helping businesses solve these problems with features built directly into Beauty Bestie. Remember Olivia? Well, reminders activate her shopping impulse, nudging her towards instant in-app repurchasing, shortening the repurchasing cycle and increasing the likelihood of Olivia replenishing that exact product rather than a competitor's. Brands get the sale, a loyal customer, and Beauty Bestie receives an affiliate commission. Beauty Bestie collects detailed data about real user behavior and provides this data to our partners for a fee. This is data that brands can't access through standard e-commerce partners or social media alone. So in the previous slide, I quickly touched on some of the ways Beauty Bestie makes money. We generate revenue through 4 core streams. The first and largest are affiliate commissions from repurchases through the marketplace, and then there's sponsored content and in-app advertising. Further to these, we offer premium subscriptions to beauty professionals and parents, those who want to track the products of their clients or their children, respectively. And lastly, there's sales of anonymized market insight or trend data. This segment's valuable to brands and expected to initially contribute a smaller percentage of revenue, but with a high potential to scale as the user base grows. Beauty Bestie is moving quickly to set up these revenue streams, starting with securing partnership with trusted retailers and leading beauty brands. Noting that for major retailers and larger beauty conglomerates, we expect partnership acquisition costs to run about $50,000 per major partner. Regarding the users, we'll focus on social campaigns, generative engine optimization, gamification and community engagement, as well as eventual multilingual expansion. Beauty Bestie is demonstrating real market interest. We've nearly 1,000 prospective users who've joined our waitlist. We've already in discussion with partners with several local beauty brands, as well as collaborate with multiple female founders in the beauty space. We've secured warm introductions to executives at Estee Lauder and L'Oreal. Our MVP is powered by a comprehensive database to enable fast testing. So I mentioned that Beauty Bestie can expect to yield 96 million in USD in annual revenue by year 5. However, given our traction, we're expecting to reach that goal much earlier. And this is the team that can do it. As a solo entrepreneur, I'm supported by my chief business advisor, who basically told me yesterday that I'm not paying her to be my friend and give me good advice. No, what did she say? I'm not paying her to be nice to me. This is what happens when I ad lib. I'm not paying her to be nice to me. She gives me good advice. Anyway, chief technology advisor and my UX UI specialist, all of whom are startup veterans, some with multiple exits. They just happen to be based out of Toronto, Canada, which as a bootstrapping founder helps me keep my costs lower. Okay, speaking of my team and our MVP, over the weekend, we just had a fairly major technology breakthrough, which could accelerate public launch by as much as 2 full quarters, throwing my current product roadmap into complete chaos in a good way. Friends, we are pre-launch, currently going through the MVP evaluation stages, and apparently we just pushed ahead on our progress by 2 quarters. We're really excited and invite you to follow along. Sign up for the waitlist. Join us on this journey.
Okay, open for questions.
I don't know where to find the questions.
Well, I'll read them to you.
Oh, great.
That way it doesn't happen.
We have a question in the house.
Question in the room. Yeah.
Hi.
Great idea.
Thank you.
When you talk about ingredient safety, how do you define the word safety?
Can you just repeat the question for you?
So the question is, when we talk about ingredient safety, how do we
How do you define this?
Okay, so using algorithms, using AI, using the information from the manufacturers, the brands themselves, we have the ingredients and then you base it on what else the user is using. So if a user is saying they're using like retinol, and they want to include like a vitamin C serum during that routine, we'll say, no, don't do that. Or with the retinol, use a sunscreen, kind of things like that. So there aren't reactions that way.
Is there a risk that users might present information that is approved and engaged?
Is there a risk that users might present information that's not full and complete?
As in, I'm using X products that I'm not, because you're relying on somebody, a user actually logging in the full plethora of products that you're using for them.
Yes, yeah, sure. There's always a risk when getting information from the user.
There's two more questions.
Sure.
here. Is there a central database on ingredients, or is that something you're building?
No, there is the ingredients information is from the brand, the manufacturer, and I believe there's an essential database on things that that don't work together. Sorry.
Can you talk more about how you plan to partner with retailers and brands? Are you thinking about beauty retailers like Sephora and Ulta? Reason being because they offer some similar features in terms of reminders for purchase.
Yeah.
Purchase.
Absolutely. So the idea is to partner with both Sephora and Ulta, because right now, as a beauty consumer, if you have a product that you can only get at Sephora, then you have to go there to buy it. If you have a product you only get from Ulta, you can only go to there to buy that product. So if you're in one and you want to replenish the other, you have to make 2 trips. So the idea is to not have them play against each other, but to have them work together in order to continue the.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Well,
So
I think-
yes, in order to continue their working together, as a consumer, your relationship with both. The idea is to partner with them and not to compete against them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for your questions. And we are going to move on to our next founder. All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria. I am the co-founder of Pose, and we are building the destination for fashion community and commerce. Have you ever been scrolling through social media and you come across an outfit or clothing item that you really like and you think maybe I'll buy it, but you don't know where to find it? Or maybe you have tried online shopping, but after 10 open tabs and 30 minutes later, you give up because nothing quite feels like your style, or you aren't really sure if how it looks on the model is how it's going to make you feel. Well, millions of Gen Z and millennial consumers are feeling that way right now. They love fashion and feeling confident in what they wear, but they're frustrated by the experience of discovering and purchasing clothes and accessories. Here's the crazy part. Gen Z currently spends about 5.5 hours on social media every single day. And yet, 53% say their feeds don't actually show them what they want to see. And only 16% believe they actually have total control over what they see on social media. The global fashion commerce market is estimated to reach $1.3 trillion by 2027. And still no platform truly owns fashion discovery and shopping. Brands are noticing this and starting to spend 21% of their marketing budgets on creator marketing because more consumers are turning to social media and their community online to figure out what they want to buy. Right now, because there's no dedicated fashion social commerce platform, consumers lack inspiration and a seamless shopping experience, and brands spend extreme amounts on creator marketing. It increased from 1 billion in 2020 to 8 billion now, but they're still lacking scalable collaboration tools. Creators struggle for visibility and income in their feeds that are dominated by memes, politics, conspiracy theories, and all the other noise that's out there. Pose is built to change that. We are the first social commerce platform designed specifically for fashion, making discovering, connecting, and shopping for style fun, personal, and social again. We combine personalized content, social interaction, and seamless shopping all within one app. And if you think about it, Pinterest for inspiration, Instagram and TikTok for community, and Amazon for shopping, all rolled into one app built for fashion. Consumers have personalized feeds, live fashion events, and one-click shopping. Brands can go direct to consumers with their sales while also collaborating with creators in a clutter-free fashion-first environment. And creators have the visibility and easy partnerships with brands through the platform. And they can get referral rewards and affiliate rewards as well. Jose unites curation, community, and commerce, the three elements missing from every other platform. Pinterest offers ideas, but lacks community and easy shopping options. Instagram and TikTok have a community, but they're not fashion first. Poshmark is focused on resale, not curation. And Amazon and Shein are transaction driven with no real community or curation. We believe you need all three: curation, community, and commerce to solve the problems and generate the revenue. Jose is the only platform designed to power fashion discovery and monetization in one ecosystem. We are approaching this with a dual market approach. For Nigeria, starting in Nigeria with leveraging their fast adoption and high engagement, while also having low acquisition costs, and then moving to the United States to drive the monetization. Here are our TAM and Sam and Sam for each of the countries. I'm gonna speed through since I don't have a whole bunch of time. But our business model is based off of 4 main revenue sources. We have in-app purchases will be the primary method to start, and then it'll move on to premium subscriptions, product transactions where people buy clothing and accessories, and then brand advertisements as well, which will come in as a large piece of that. The structure combines recurring revenue, transaction-based income, and brand partnerships, creating multiple monetization paths as we scale. And meeting users where they're at online through influencer marketing, brand partnerships, referrals, digital marketing for our customer acquisition process. And this approach directly engages Gen Z and millennial consumers, the most fashion conscious and digitally active audiences in the world, while also targeting brands and creators. Why now? There's a rise of social commerce, and more platforms are integrating monetization tools and e-commerce. And there's millions of creators out there that brands are looking to partner with. And the dual market approach is a great way to tap into that. We currently have an MVP out on both the App Store and the Google Play Store. And we have users in over a dozen countries now. And we've started brand and creator conversations and have a growing waitlist. Our next steps are to have our official launch. We've been working on the app all year, have our official launch, and then add the e-commerce feature as well as other features in 2026. Our ask is for $500,000 to accelerate our growth. We would, it's for $150,000 for product development, AI integration, moderation, and fashion detection models, $100,000 for e-commerce infrastructure, and $250,000 for user acquisition. Here's our team. My co-founder, Godswill, is an experienced tech founder and former fashion brand owner. I have a background in fundraising, marketing, and operations, and Ubong, our tech lead, specializes in full stack development and has also worked on startups. Jose is here to make fashion discovery more personal, social, and fun, connecting users directly to the brands and creators they love. We're here to capture that energy and make sure that fashion, community, and commerce meet in one. Thank you. I'd be happy to take your questions. I don't know how much time we have left, but
we have 3 minutes.
3 minutes, cool.
3 minutes for questions. So you can come off mute or you can put it in the chat. I'll read the questions.
Okay, cool. Yes.
Just repeat the question.
Do we have AI creators on the platform? We've had conversations with different creators. I know that's something that brands are starting to look into as well. So we're using AI mostly for curation right now and working that in to tailor each individual person's feed to them. But I think AI is going to be a large part of everything that's happening online as well.
So,
We have another AI question.
Oh, yes.
I'm thinking about the opportunity to purchase within ChatGPT or other LLMs.
Yeah. So I think AI as it grows is going to be more and more part of our daily lives. I know with other search engines, people are turning more to AI, so that is definitely going to be a part of it. But for us, one of the features that we are looking to add is a virtual try-on option. And so more people, I think, are going to go towards AI, but they also want that real creator aspect. Over 40% of people want to see on social media a real person trying something on, saying, this looks great, this doesn't look great. So the more we can incorporate that, the better. I think we definitely need to be looking at that, but there's still a human element, I think, to all of that, where people want to know that what we're wearing in the real world is going to make us feel good, not only what AI says. So
We have time for one more, and I'm gonna cut yours down a little bit here. Some good notes in here I'll share with you after. But in terms of tech, have you considered integrating into existing tech systems, apps, platforms that will all you have to do is virtually try on clothes and buy the look based on that?
So is the question like other social media platforms and like having a virtual try on?
The other apps
In
that
there?
have that, probably, yes.
Okay.
Sounds like
I think we've talked about some of that, but I think it goes back to some of the noise aspect. About 20% of the content out there is fashion related, but almost half of people actually look at fashion content and want to see that. So when, you know, if I'm getting ready for my first day of work or an interview, or, you know, somebody's going to a formal event, getting through all of that noise can sometimes, you know, you get sucked down the rabbit hole, so that can make it trickier. So there's definitely considerations in that, but the more people want to drift towards fashion, I think the more the dedicated platform can help with that.
Okay. There's also some really good feedback that was given in the chat as well. We'll make sure that she gets all that feedback. I think the feedback is important too. All right, we're going right into the next one. You guys ready? Everybody good? Okay, here we go. Notes are right here. Just this and then anyway.
So hi, I'm Chloe, and I'm excited to tell you today about our company Soma Care, which we've built to personalize pain recovery using neuroscience and AI. So I'm a neuroscientist and a former MD PhD trainee, and I've spent my entire career studying one of medicine's biggest paradoxes, which is chronic pain. It's one of the most common reasons people seek care, yet one of the most misunderstood diagnoses you can get. And part of the reason for that is because there's no one specific biomarker or target for treatment. And so when someone's experiencing chronic pain, almost every system in the body and the mind is affected by it, and their entire life history is affecting their trajectory of their courses, which makes it really hard to figure out in the context of the medical system. In the pain clinic, I saw patients constantly who'd gone all the way through spinal surgery and had experienced little relief. And then somehow they would come upon something like meditation and movement in combination in just the right way, and they would suddenly reduce their symptoms quite a lot through that. And so that mystery really drove my PhD in neuroscience at Brown, where I studied basically how miscommunications between the brain and the body arise in chronic pain. And interestingly, how cognitive treatments actually can restore that communication to improve symptoms. And so now Soma Care is a spin-out company we created from that Brown University lab that translates that science into care. So the magnitude of chronic pain is actually reflected in the fact that the US spends over $600 billion a year trying to treat the 1 in 4 adults affected by it. And over half of those adults actually never find lasting relief. And why is that? What I realized was actually that the patients weren't failing treatment, the treatments are failing the patients, because medicine still treats pain very much as a bodily problem, when actually science shows it's largely sustained by the brain. So even after surgery and imaging and injections, people actually remain stuck in pain for years because it's targeting the wrong system. And that's where Soma Care comes in. If pain is sustained by the brain, then the solution isn't more imaging and injections. It's actually about targeting the right mechanisms. And so we've built an adaptive digital ecosystem that identifies each person's brain-based pain drivers and then matches them to the right cognitive intervention to improve relief and lower overall costs. It starts with Soma Detect, which we've built to intelligently identify the actual brain-based contributors to symptoms. And then that feeds people into Soma Thrive, which is a digital therapy that is personalized by AI to provide daily recovery plans grounded in neuroscience and tied to that person's unique pain profile. And Soma Clinic then connects it all back to providers through explainable EMR integrated insights that align the care offerings with the actual brain mechanisms. And so in the space of pain, many people are going after the digital health approaches to pain, but most of our competitors are actually focused on digitizing physical rehab, things like exercise and tele-PT, or they actually digitize whole out-of-the-box cognitive solutions like CBT or ACT. But in reality, like most people need a combination of different things to target different components of their pain so that overall they improve. And so Soma Care takes a fundamentally different approach than these competitors, where we personalize pain recovery at the level of the nervous system by acquiring user data from physiological wearable data, as well as their self-reported symptoms in conjunction with existing EMR medical history, to then train our AI models to select unique combinations of treatments that target their needs from our ever-growing expert-curated content library. So we utilize AI for the personalization only, but we use pain experts and pain providers to actually build the content that gets recommended. As I mentioned, it's an extremely large market with the US spending over $600 billion a year. Even if we focused in on just self-insured employers who shoulder the costs of unnecessary procedures, medications, and lost productivity, the opportunity is already massive. By targeting them first, we unlock a 471 million serviceable, addressable, obtainable market within a $12 billion employer network, which turns a huge burden into a scalable, high-impact entry point. And so our go-to-market strategy is intentionally de-risked. Many digital therapeutic companies have failed because they built business models dependent on reimbursement codes for standard payers that didn't actually exist yet. And so we are taking a more tried and true path that's been successful for a variety of digital health companies, where we're starting with self-insured employers, where we can immediately demonstrate ROI through reduced pain-related costs and improved productivity. And so as we establish efficacy and collect real-world data through these early partnerships, we'll be perfectly positioned to actually expand into payer markets as new digital pain reimbursement codes come online. And we're also members of the American Telemedicine Association. And so we're directly involved in the policy conversations that are shaping those reimbursement pathways on Capitol Hill. So in the next few years, as health, aging at home and healthcare at home initiatives expand, we'll be well set to move into standard payer markets. I hope I've convinced you that chronic pain is a really complex problem. And I think we've built a really great team in order to address it. So we're bringing together expertise in neuroscience, AI, and clinical care. I'm the CEO. My background's in MD, PhD, and I focused entirely on pain treatments. I have run many large-scale clinical trials testing the efficacy of these cognitive interventions. And our AI lead, Jesse Vig, he's a former Salesforce AI lead researcher who left his job to work on this full time. He has expertise in explainable recommender systems that are driving our AI approach. And then our third co-founder is Frederica Petchner, who is a neuroscientist at Brown University, and we built the initial prototype in her lab and have spun it out of her lab. She has world-class training in developing computational models for how symptoms evolve over time in chronic pain. And so we've already generated some strong early traction. That research grade app that we developed in Frederica's lab has been used by over 300 people across multiple clinical studies. And generated more than 800,000 symptom data points that we're using to pre-train our AI algorithms on. Our engagement with that app remained high. People use it pretty much daily over 4 months. And they gave it a 94% net promoter score for just tracking symptoms. So we're excited about what that means for their ability to engage with the larger programs in the app. And to date, we've secured 1.2 million in non-dilutive funding from Brown, MIT, and the New England Medical Innovation Center. And since we've spun out of Brown, we've rebuilt our backend CMS in order to layer in the programs and the AI that powers it. And so we already have 3,000 patients on our wait list for R&D validation when we release those early pilot programs. So we plan to leverage this early traction as we move into early user testing pilots this December to test for the efficacy of the programs and further train the AI engines. And then based on that, we plan to prepare for a pre-seed round in mid-2026 in order to scale those programs. So when we do raise, we're projecting a 1.5 million pre-seed raise to launch the first commercial pilots in 2026. And with that, I'd like to say thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
I have one question. This is a great product and concept as someone who's been dealing with this recently. I'm curious how you're considering accessibility and user adoption for people in pain, especially when it's exacerbated by screen time. Accessibility can make a difference.
Yeah, that's a great point. So the whole basis for the research grade app was built at Brown in conjunction with pain patients. So their voice has been very much there in the design all along. And exactly to the point of screens can exacerbate symptoms, one of the first features built in was that a voice to text option. So you actually don't need to type things into the app or look at the screen if you don't want to. Everything is translated back to audio if you need to lie in like a dark room and just listen to something.
Can you explain where the name Soma Care came from?
Oh yeah. So in neuroscience, the powerhouse of the neuron is called the soma. In Greek, soma means like holistic mind body. So it sort of brought together our focus on like the treating the whole system in pain, and also highlighting the nervous system's role in bringing everything together.
Here. Curious how you're managing the data privacy. In my experience, that could be a space for differentiation.
Yeah, so the data privacy is one of the most important things to us. The software engineer who we have full-time working on this has background in building HIPAA compliant software online. And our AI lead is spending almost all of his time right now de-risking how, when we actually fully integrate EMRs, how we'll secure the safety of the database. So it is sort of the foremost thing we're focusing on at the current stage.
Okay, I think we can do one more. Do you capture any previous medical data? Are you tracking med and impact of meds on recovery, healing, other issues that may arise?
Yes, so that's one of the most important pieces of information we use to identify what cognitive treatments to recommend to people. So right now, patients choose what they want to tell us about their past medical history and therapies they've tried in the past that have or haven't worked. Long term, what we're planning to do is build in read-in integrations with EMR so we can just capture that from what's there and then fill in the blank and reduce the user burden.
Fantastic. All right. And last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and let Jen take over the screen. So I'm going to stop my share. And if you can see Jen Adam. Need help with that part or?
No, I just was reading the pop-up because I didn't want to blind
I know. Good choice.
Okay.
There you go.
Are you gonna let's just
Yep. I'm going to go on mute and
Jen, you're still muted.
thanks. Whoa.
now I can hear you. You're good. We can hear you. Okay.
Good to go? All right. Okay, thank you everyone for bearing with us as we changed over. We had some formatting stuff going on over here. My name is Jen Adam. I'm CEO and founder of Simile. I went to the Naval Academy. I am a Navy veteran. I'm an Iron Man. I'm a mom of 6, and yet every day parenting made me feel like a failure. The hours spent each week coordinating all of the logistics, appointments, medications of raising my family while having a full-time career Across scattered tools, I was always one unexpected event away from it all coming crashing down. Then one day, while I was sitting in a pitch at United Healthcare, I realized that the patients with chronic and complex diseases and Medicare patients, their families often felt exactly what I was feeling with my own family. It turns out that insight was correct and the opportunity is substantial. Invisible labor costs the economy over $3.8 trillion annually in absenteeism, missed care, poor medication adherence, and caregiver burnout. The reality is simple. When caregivers are supported, they reduce costs across the board, lowering healthcare claims, improving employee productivity, and easing their own mental load. Families are overwhelmed by the demands of daily life, with few tools designed to truly support them. 73% of families say they'd pay for something that gives them more time together. Yet, as 80 to 90% of baby boomers plan to age in place, their adult children, or the sandwich generation, face increasing strain balancing careers, kids, and aging parents who live further away than ever. At Simile, we're solving this by putting the caregiver at the center, building the infrastructure that makes caregiving manageable, and reducing costs for families, organizations, and the healthcare system as a whole. At Simile, we're redesigning the infrastructure of family life. Our platform turns invisible mental load into visible, structured systems so coordination is shared, trackable, and intelligent. Simile brings together what's currently managed across several apps, such as Google Calendars, MyChart, or WhatsApp, into one platform. Users can create customized families and groups, bring in health records, and assign and delegate care tasks. They also get intelligent nudges and reminders based on real data to help their family. It's flexible enough for parenting, elder care, and chronic and complex diseases. Giving is the invisible work that keeps families running, coordinating health schedules and support across generations. It often goes unnoticed until something breaks down, disrupting careers, finances, and family well-being. Simile bridges that gap. Built to scale seamlessly for enterprise partners from day one, Simile delivers a consumer-grade experience with privacy at its core. Our platform securely integrates user-entered information with in-app data to deliver smarter, more personalized support. I bring nearly 2 decades in operations, health systems, and tech integration experience. My co-founder and husband, Nick Adam, is also a Naval Academy graduate. He is a Marine operator and seasoned CTO with a background in fintech and national cyber defense. As parents of 6, we understand this challenge firsthand, and we bring the professional and personal expertise to deliver this problem, to deliver a solution to solve this problem at scale. Additionally, we have a team of consultants and advisors committed to delivering this solution with us, with expertise in clinical and technical backgrounds. Simile keeps the gears of family life running smoothly, so you don't have to scramble when something slips. Your family, your schedule, and your career stay on track. Simile bridges the gap between home logistics and healthcare. Competitors focus on one sliver, family apps largely ignore HIPAA, and healthcare apps focus less on user experience. Simile unites healthcare, home care, and daily logistics in one place. It securely connects the whole picture while also helping predict its users' needs. The TAM here is significant when you look at family, health, and tech productivity. When we look at Simile's opportunity, our path to a $15 million SOM is grounded in focus and repeatability. We're starting with our most engaged segment to prove strong unit economics, then scaling through employer and community partnerships that dramatically lower customer acquisition cost. Simile makes the work of family caregiving visible, keeping everything on track so nothing falls through the cracks, protecting both your family and your career. To do this, we start with a freemium iOS app that builds behavior data and traction, and we're already seeing clear signs of product market fit as engagement and referrals grow organically. We then scale through business-to-business SaaS, clinics, hospitals, and employers for workflow automation and patient coordination. This creates both consumer loyalty and enterprise scale ROI. We launched our iOS app and have just over 500 users, a deliberate choice while we focused on building real value before we started marketing. With the launch of Similings, our lightweight engagement tool, we're now seeing strong organic growth. That inbound demand has already led to 3 business-to-business pilots and helping us validate our product market fit with our core user, moms, as we expand to support her caring for aging parents and her own well-being. We plan to raise early next year after incorporating feedback from those pilots to scale the platform, expand the Android and web experience, and deepen our business-to-business integrations. We're raising $1 million allocated across technology, business-to-business development, marketing, and operations. This round takes us to 50,000 users and positions us for enterprise readiness and $2 million ARR by 2027. As more boomers age in place, the coordination gap will only widen, driving higher healthcare costs, lost productivity, and financial strain for both families and the system as a whole. At Simile, we're redefining family health, one connected platform that lightens the mental load, strengthens care coordination, and supports every family member's well-being. We believe the future of health starts at home, and with the right partners, we can scale this massive opportunity at the intersection of home, health, and productivity. Thanks, and I'd love to take questions now. Questions in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat. I can't see the chat.
Okay.
They're all still shocked at the 6 kids.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I see synergy with self-care.
Same thing. I was thankful that I was here with Chloe.
Love the screenshots. Comment on image. This is more feedback. Lydia says she's building a complimentary service. Does anybody have any questions?
I'd love if you reached out, Lydia.
Can you insert visual cues? This is more about the presentation itself. No questions? No one? You answered all their questions.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. Good.
What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest thing you're learning from your 500 customers?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin, I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, what's the biggest thing you're learning from the 500 customers you have?
The complex relationships with families is really what drives why people are interested in Simile. And I thought it would be moms caring for kids because that's my background, right? That's my personal story. But it's actually the parents, my peers that are caring for their own parents that are really struggling. And it's the balancing of that sandwich generation, right? And that's, I think, what at Simile we've really focused on is being able to share your information with the right people. For example, an adult, if there's 2 adult children caring for an aging parent, you don't want to share, like you might not want to share what medications you're on with your adult sibling, right? And so making sure those permissions stay within the right family, as we define it within Simile, is what we learned is the value that our initial business to consumer users are really thankful for. And one of the pilots that I referenced is with a nephrology practice, which is what we're about to launch that pilot, and we're really excited for that feedback before we scale, because I think that the lessons learned there for caring for the aging population is going to really poise us well as we look to scale early next year.
One more question is the app interoperable?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk interoperability, we're building within HIPAA compliance and with FHIR APIs. Additionally, you're able to integrate schedule, Google, Outlook, obviously Apple. We currently are in the App Store with Apple. We are launching Android in early 2026. We're in beta in that right now. We also, when we talk about different EMRs, we've already started the integration work with Athena. That's the EMR that our first pilot group uses, and then we'll move to Epic. Obviously a no-brainer there once we sharpen our teeth on our pilot with the group that's on Athena.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed all the presentations. I will be sharing everyone's information with everybody in attendance. But like I said at the beginning, if you want to reach out to me with any questions or connections directly, I'm happy to do that.